Hello and good evening, Prof. Azila and fellow friends. My name is Siti Mahani binti Jamaluddin, matrix number 261902, and I am with Lim Ji Hua, matrix number 271196. Today, our group will present about site management action, visitor planning in Silk Road. Without further ado, I will start by explaining about the Silk Road. Silk Road is a very popular before and now. Silk Road is known as the trade route which connect the east and west. The time period for Silk Road era was around 114 BCE to 1450 CE. At that time, Silk Road became the center of economic, cultural, political, and religious interactions between the regions. Not only land, but Silk Road also refers to the sea routes that connect Asia, Middle East, East Africa, and Europe. The name comes from the lucrative trade in silk from China that also the being of the Han dynasty in China. Next. There are a lot of countries in the Silk Road. The country included in Silk Road, starting from Asia, there are 27 countries, including Japan, North Korea, and even Malaysia. In Europe, we have 18 countries, including France, Portugal, and United Kingdom. While in Africa, there are only 5 countries, and they are the United Republic of Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, Mozambique, and Madagascar. Lastly, we have the Middle East, which consists of 15 countries, from Egypt, Yemen, to Oman and Lebanon. All of the countries are associated with the Silk Road, whether it is the land or the maritime Silk Road. Silk Road is used to exchange goods from east and west continent. The needed in certain goods are the reason Silk Road become the center of trade at that time. These are some of the goods traded in that era. From west to east, these goods included horses, saddles and riding tag, the grapevine and grapes, dogs and other animals, both exotic and domestic, animal furs and skins, honey, fruits, glassware, woolen blankets, rugs, carpets, textiles, gold and silver, camel, slave, weapons and armor. While from the east to west, the goods included are silk, tea, dyes, precious stones, chinaware, which include plates, bowls, cups, vases made in China, porcelain, spices such as cinnamon and ginger, bronze and gold artifacts, medicine, which at that time also mostly using spices as the main ingredient. Perfumes, ivory, rice, pepper, and gunpowder. The greatest value of the Silk Road is the cultural exchange, art, religion, philosophy, technology, language, science, architecture, and all of other elements of civilization are exchanged on these routes. The Silk Road contribute to world civilizations, especially in Asia and Europe. Goods, religious, syncretic philosophies, science, technologies like pepper and gunpowder are traded among the two continents. Even plug and medicine were traded through Silk Road. However, the Ottoman Empire boycotted trade with China, and the route was closed in 53 AD. In 1993, UNWTO decided to revive the ancient routes of Silk Road as a tourism instead of a trade route. The revival was due to the renewed interest in the Silk Road in terms of tourism destination. This project, encompassing over 12,000 kilometers, unites the three continents, Europe, Asia and the Pacific, and the Middle East. In February 2018, a number of 34 Silk Road member states was listed. The aim is to maximize the tourism development benefits for local communities along with the aim to stimulate investment and promote conservation of the roots, natural and cultural heritage. Next. The New Silk Road, 20th and 21st century. The Silk Road has possessed new strategies and ideas to revive it. As example, the maritime routes, railways in 1990s, revival of cities in 1966, and the best, China's New Silk Road or Belt and Road Initiative that formerly known as One Belt, One Road that was proposed in 2013. It is the latest in the Silk Road project. The purpose of the economic strategy is to promote economic development and inter-regional connectivity. As of now, there are over 70 countries are involved in this strategy. However, there are some problems regarding these strategies, and some of the countries rejected this strategy. Next. We move on to the natural environment and biophysical process of country in Silk Roads. The first is atmosphere. There are certain climate in the Silk Road because of the different countries within them. Okay, so the first is tropical desert climate, which is an extremely environment where it's the driest and the hottest place on Earth. Rainfall is sporadic, and there are years when rain does not fall at all. Due to the year-round influence of subtropical high pressure and continentality, the desert is terribly dry. In the Silkwood, this climate can be found in the Arabian Desert and Syrian Desert in Western Asia, the Sahara Desert in North Africa, the Thar Desert in India and Pakistan, and some others in Afghanistan and Iran. Next. The temperature could reach up to 50 degrees Celsius during the day and literally drop to 5 degrees Celsius at night. The daily range is around 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. In this climate, the major landforms are dunes, depressions, pans, viaducts, and inverted topography. Natural resources can be found in this area, including borax, sodium nitrate, fossil fuels, metallic minerals, and gemstones. Next. The biosphere that can be found in this climate are very limited. Within an environment so harsh and barren, only certain animals and plants with special characteristic, behavior, and unique physical are able to live there. Among them are barrel cactus, desert ironwood, and the animals that can be found are coyote and the tortoise. Okay, the second climate is Mediterranean climate. It is known as a dry summer climate and is characterized by the dry summers and mild, wet winters. However, the one closest to the Mediterranean climate is the hot summer subtype, or known as typical Mediterranean climate. This climate can mainly be found around the Mediterranean Sea, sections of Central Asia, and northern section of Iran and Iraq. The average temperature is 22 degrees Celsius during the warmest month and between 18 to -3 Celsius during the coldest month. Next. The types of natural biosphere in this area are evergreen trees like bay laurel, deciduous trees such as oak, fruit trees like walnut, shrubs like rosemary, shrubs like lavender, and herbs like achillea. Animals are goats, sheep, rabbit, jackals, and lynx. The third is tropical savanna climate. It is a tropical wet and dry climate. The mean temperature is at or above 17 degrees Celsius, with annual precipitation between 30 to 50 inches. The dry season is associated with the low sun period. Mostly savanna climate included in Sigmund, Kenya, and Tanzania. Okay, the biosphere in this savanna is mostly covered by perennial grasses. They are 3 to 6 feet tall. The plants in the savanna are the open canopy that is resistant to climate changes and the open shrub layer. Animals in savanna including jackals, lions, leopards, hyenas, and herbivores, animals that usually in herds such as elephants and zebras. The next one is tropical rainforest climate, also known as equatorial climate, usually found within 10 to 15 degrees latitude of the equator. This climate has the most biodiversity out of all other biomes. The annual mean temperature and rainfalls above temperature also changes in small range. The tropical rainforest is hot, very humid and wet. The temperature is around 20 to 34 degrees Celsius. This type of climate can be found in Madagascar, Kenya, and most of Asia, including Malaysia and Indonesia. About half of the world's plants can be found in the rainforest. The example of the plants is durian trees, Bengal bamboo, strangler figs, and walang trees, whereas animals including hummingbirds, jaguars, tigers, and snakes can be found in this rainforest. The next one is tropical monsoon climate, known as a tropical wet climate or a tropical monsoon. Tropical monsoon climate has monthly mean temperature above 18 degrees Celsius every month of the year and a dry season. Tropical monsoon climate are the intermediate climate between the wet tropical rainforest climate and the drier tropical savanna climate. Most countries in the Silk Road have this climate, such as Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and Cambodia. Tropical monsoon have flora like coffee, vanilla, bamboo, banana jackfruit, and so much more because this climate have a lot of variety of flora and fauna. Some of the animals that can be found here are eagles, anacondas, hummingbirds, jaguars, and monkeys. The other one is subtropical monsoon and subtropical humid climate. In a humid subtropical climate, summers are typically long, hot, and humid. It is a warm, temperate climate. Monthly mean summer temperatures are normally between 24 and 27 degrees Celsius. Thunder showers are common, and if there are rainfalls, it is show that it is at a summer peak. Most could be found in Asian countries such as India, Pakistan, Hong Kong, Myanmar, Vietnam, Tokyo, and Busan. Okay, the flora and fauna that can be found here are shrubs, bushes, and combination of broadleaf and evergreen plants and trees such as ferns, palms, and grasses. The animals can be found here are larger mammals, such as panther, deer, and reptiles such as alligator, turtles, and snakes, and amphibians such as frogs. The next is temperate maritime or oceanic climate. This climate is often found at the middle latitude because the ocean is so close by. Rain, although heavier in winter, may fall at any time of the year. Periods of drought are few, ensuring divine a regular water supply. The average annual temperatures stand at around 13 degrees Celsius with fairly mild winters. This can be found in Indian Ocean, Turkey, and Japan coast. The animal that can be found in this climate is raccoon, cicada, mandarin ducks, foxes, rabbit, and wild boar, whereas the plants are oak, beech, and birch, also including shrubs like broom and heather. Okay, the other climate, a temperate monsoon climate, also known as China type climate. This climate has a warm, moist summer and cool, dry winter. The summer temperature is around 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. In winter, the temperature went from 5 to 12 degrees Celsius. The places with this climate in North and South China, southern Japan and Korea, and the southeast region of Africa. This climate has luxuriant evergreen vegetation. It has deciduous type of forest, pines and cypress could be found in highlands and mountains. There are also grass, ferns and bamboo. There are many types of birds and mammals in the mountain and swamps, like eagles, nightingales, and squirrel, bears, and foxes. The other one is temperate continental climate. Often, this climate often had hot summers and cold winters and often occurs in the middle latitude. The mean temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius in the coldest month and at least 4 months with 10 degrees Celsius temperature. Mostly can be found in northern East China, eastern and southeastern Europe, western and northwestern Iran, central and southeastern Canada, and Sapporo, Japan is an example. Okay, so subarctic coniferous forest climate have a brisk, cool summer and bitterly cold in winter. The summer is short, but the day length is quite long, up to 18.8 hours. Daytime temperature up to 25 degrees Celsius and could drop to 10 in the evening. Winters are long, cold, and snowy, mostly located in the northern hemisphere, such as Italy and Germany. Okay, a lot of coniferous trees with hardy deciduous trees like birch mixed in. There are also pines in Europe subarctic countries. The animals that can be found in this climate include mammals like moose, deer, reindeer, mice, and squirrels, and predators like wolves, bears, and foxes. Okay, so we move on to the polar tundra climate. This type of climate are lack of warm summer and have an average temperature of less than 10 degrees Celsius. Winter's days are extremely short and summer days are extremely long, with the summer are cool and winters being very cold. Under the Belt and Road Initiative, Antarctica and Arctic are also included in Silk Road, which known as Polar Silk Road. Because of the cool summer and cold winter, most of the trees are not available. Thus, a tundra climate is treeless, with glaciers and a permanent or semi-permanent layer of ice. The only plants that can survive in the climate are small ground hiding plants like mosses and lichens. Polar bears, wolves, Arctic hares, and birds such as ravens and falcons, even fishes like cod salmon and trout are the animals that could be found in the polar region. The last is plateau and mountain climate. The climate for plateau and mountains differ depending on the region. In India, the temperature of plateaus ranges from -34 degrees Celsius in winter and 38 degrees Celsius in summer. Mountains climate are also known as highland climate, and the characteristics are distinguished based on the surrounding lowlands. The main difference is the temperature and moisture. The higher altitude, the colder it gets. These are some of the hydrosphere that could be found in the Silk Road. In the ocean, there are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. The seas that could be found some of the examples are the South China Sea, the Red Sea, and Mediterranean Sea. There are also straits such as Strait of Malacca, Strait of Hormuz, and Strait of Gibraltar. The islands are in Japan, in Borneo, which is Kalimantan Island, and the Madagascar. There are also rivers and lakes. There are Mekong River, Sidarya River, Armudara River, and Yellow River. The lakes are Issyk-Kul in Kyrgyzstan, Crescent Lake in China, and Lake Baikal in Russia. And we move on to the lithosphere, which is the Mount Range and Plateau. The Mount Range can be found in the Himalayas, Karakoram, the Altai Mountains, the Caucasus Mountain, and Hindu Kush, while the plateau can be found in Tibetan Plateau, Loess Plateau, Mongolian Plateau, and Pamir Mountains. These are the grassland or steppe. It could be found in Mongolian Manchurian grassland, Kazakh steppe, Alai Western Tian Shan steppe, which is in Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. There are also deserts and oases. The desert can be found in Taklimakan Desert, Karakum Desert, and Gobi Desert. While the other one is oasis, which is examples such as Nahal David Oasis, Katif Oasis, Al Aqsa Oasis, and Turpan Depression. We move on to my friend Lim.
Okay, now I will present about the environment issue that caused by visitor. The development of tourism have made tourism more convenient, but tourists have become one of the culprits of destroying the tourism environment. When the number of tourists increase, it will lead to mass tourism. This made the capacity of the tourist area overload, and the various uncivil behavior of tourists has caused serious damage to the environment of the tourist destination. Here are some tourist environment impact that caused by visitor, such as environmental degradation, the habitat fragmentation, environmental pollution, and acoustic and visual pollution, decline in biodiversity, the invasive alien species, cultural reliance destruction, overcrowding, corruption of land, and vandalism. Okay, now I will talk about what is visitor planning. A visitor planning is a framework that was developed in the 1980s and 1990s. Due to the great increase of visitors using the wilderness and national parks and other concerns related to their impact on natural resource and visitor experience, this framework is made. Visitor planning frameworks that are widely known are recreation opportunity spectrum, limit or acceptable change, visitor impact management, visitor experience and resource protection, visitor activity management process, and tourism optimization management model. Okay, these are some of the action from visitor planning. The first one is engage with the industry and collaborate on transnational approach to strengthen the zero presence through enhanced international zero festival and events. And next is develop a marketing, branding, and promotion strategy to establish an attractive and professional brand for zero in line with key source market interest and expectation both at the individual destination level and collectively. And we also will increase the online profile of zero tourism through an established destination website or industry marketing portal and provide comprehensive information for visitors via online and communication mediums. Develop data research and intelligence to create an effective zero brand strategy to enhance collaboration between zero destinations and to increase consumer awareness about environmental issues. To overcome the problem of visitor, the zero also will provide a high quality, consistent, and informative zero tourism communication and interpretation that do not degrade or damage the environment by deliver throughout the tourism experience to build tourist expectations and deliver high quality visitor experience. Next is sales skill, appetite, and knowledge to avoid duplication, build on strengths, and implement coordinate management frameworks along the zero. With regards to sustainable tourism, conservation education, research development, and interpretation. And we also implement carrying capacity in protected area, focus on destination management and heritage conservation, even deliver holistic planning with well-integrated stakeholder participation for long-term sustainability on zero. Next, enhance industry training and development through implementing tourist guide training programs, online course menu, and workshops to improve interpretation and natural, cultural, and heritage site in zero. To overcome the problem, the zero also develop tourism and visitor management guidelines for natural, cultural, and heritage sites on the zero to provide a consistently high-quality visitor experience, covering all areas of management, including a zero handbook for tourist guide. And zero also identify north or last city along the zero as the segment of road connecting them and the corridor as zero tourism, and link itself to attractive travelers along integrated roads and corridor rather than the individual sites of the destination. And develop appropriate standard and protocol to face key issues for zero visitor on site environments such as boundary and buffer zones, site selection, and zoning. And it also implement monitoring system at local, national, and transnational levels to measure change impact of visitor action and change to the value of the zero sites. It also recommend a framework for governments that define the collaborative role of all national tourism administration in promoting foreign and local investment, enhancing sustainability, engaging stakeholders, and providing industry training plans and capacity building in local communities. It also established a set of guidelines for signal along the zero roads to develop signal that is informing visitor prohibit activity in certain country or area of zero. Zero also enhance connectivity and road development through increase the collaboration between airports, airline, and aviation ministry to make the zero more accessible and to promote transboundary travel and encourage the development of specific tourism product and service to spread the dispersal of tourists and encourage increased length of stay and use in zero countries. And the last one is using environmental education and interpretation programs to emotionally engage visitors and connect them with the values that the area is protecting. Okay. Thank you. Now comes to the Q&A section.
Thank you, Lin. Okay, so we have 4 questions by Fatin Hanin and Nurul Ashikin. The first question is about what are some of the problems caused by the China's New Silk Road? So I will answer this question. Okay, so the first problems that come from this strategy is unsustainable financial burdens, because we all know that strategy and projects like this come up with a lot of money, some of which come up to billions of dollars, and there are some countries that unable to to pay this and need to gain loans, and they are they will be having problems if they cannot rolling the money back. So all of this could be increase the risk of default, repayment difficulties, or it could even be such that certain complete projects have not generated sufficient revenue to justify the cost. So if they contribute to this, they will have some financial burdens, and they are not able to pay the loans within the time frame, and thus it become a burden for certain countries. And the other problem is geopolitical risk. In some cases, China-funded projects even bore the possibility of espionage. The project could, in some instances, possibly compromise the recipient state's telecommunications infrastructure or place the country at the center of strategic competition between China and the other great powers. So it could be something really personal or international, but secret isn't just including one country and include other country, and there's a lot of country included in this road. So geopolitical could be a problem and a risk come from this project. So they need to overcome this geopolitical problem first. That's all. So
Okay, there are two more questions that asked from our friends. The first one is why is called Silk Road? And the next question is why visitor planning is important. Okay, for the question of why is called Silk Road, for this question it got many versions, but in fact the term of Silk Road was first developed by a German geographer in the 19th century. But the well-known story is that the ancient China famously used silkworm cocoons to make silk that was popular by Persian empires and European empires, and the China trade them. At that time, only ancient China had the technology to make silk, so that's why it's popular and well known as a Silk Road when it comes to the trading. And the next is why visitor planning is important. Uh, the visitor planning is important because it will increase the supply of recreational opportunity or tourism opportunity to the area and facility to accommodate increased demand. And it will reduce public use at specific sites in management zone or throughout the tourism site. And the visitor planning also can modify the character of visitor use and alter the visitor attitude and expectation. The most important is the visitor planning can reduce the impact of visitor that brings to the environment of tourism sites. Okay, thank you. Hope I answered the question.
there's another one question. Can we leave?
Sure. What is your question?
Okay. How the visitor planning help the environment? So I will answer the question. Okay, so most of the problem caused by the lack of visitor planning and monitoring. There are a lot of things to handle, and sometimes we tend to overlook the tourist behavior and the environment being destroyed by them, by the visitors. So with proper visitor planning and management, we are able to stop the over tourism from happening. And we could also managing tourism activities for the visitor according to the specific criteria of the environment. And also, this type of management could help the environment to sustain better. This is how the visitor planning help the environment. Thank you. I guess that's all from us. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, and thank you for the attention given and have a nice day. Thank you.